Alright guys, this is going to be a map chat on Fjords, starting off with the south spawn and light tanks. At the very beginning of the match, you can either rush into the bush that's sitting on E7 right here. You're scouting to spot anything in this area at the very beginning for your TDs to shoot and mediums to shoot as it tries to come down and get to the bowl area right here. Another spot a little bit more um, risky, but moving up to this area to spot across right there, it gives you a lot easier spots all the way down into a little bit deeper into the area. But you are stuck here once you commit to this spot. You're pretty much here this entire map. Um, if stuff tries to come around and shoot you from the north, your team can shoot them if they try to push up, too far, which is about this area. They'll have to push up. You'll just have to back up a little bit. You're already safe there as well. It's a really strong spot to spot from when you're in light tanks. So let's move on to down here. At the very start, you'll just run straight over here. Spotting what moves across is very important because it'll let your team know what they're going to have to deal with south. So spotting what you can as it pushes across helps out greatly. Any TDs that are back in this area right here will also be able to hit what you spot if they're ready. Going down into this area and trying to spot the stuff right here is also another valuable available option. It's much more risky because you don't really have any support. Nothing's stopping them from pushing down here to take you out. So if they do try to push down, try to get back in this corner because it makes them really have to commit going down there to take shots at you. But either way, those are about the two spots I would go. As far as going north, there's really no reason. Most of the tanks that you're going to have north are going to be mediums. Sitting up here isn't really going to be much of an advantage. You're going to get spotted really easy anyways. So sitting in these areas and winning middle as quickly as possible and having a strong presence in middle, I feel is going to win the map much easier. Alright, moving on to tank destroyers. At the very start, going to this rock right here and getting prepared to shoot tanks that you get spotted or that you spot coming down this area, or sitting right here and doing the same are both great options because there are a lot of tanks that will try to go around the front because they don't want to take the slower way going down. So getting easy, clean, free shots at them is invaluable as far as putting out damage. Also at the very start, coming up to this bush right here and get ready to take shots into this area. Probably the two strongest TD positions. Stuff like the E3 can go down south and get hull down, either behind the rock that's down here, behind that rock, or behind the hill that's right there, and hiding your underhull to shoot the tanks that come right here. Can work. You have to understand you will be in the open, so if they don't die quick enough, they're going to get enough shots that eventually some of them are going to pin you. So right here's a little bit more risky than right here. But there are, two options for like E3s and JPZs that can go down there. For the most part, you want to focus your TDs into the middle area to stop any pushes from north and to push into north. So great spots. Moving on to mediums. Mediums can either rush into this corner right here to help get spots if they haven't already got spots, to take shots, then circle back around to go down here and brawl with any mediums or tanks they have in this area. Really strong location. Going north is also a very good option. It's actually where I would recommend a lot of the mediums go anyways. Being able to, your main tanks like your Leopards and your 140s, being able to peek over the hill and spot and take shots at stuff that's sitting over here or back here, or coming up around this corner and getting ready to push the corner onto the tanks right here once you know what's in this area. Also great spots. I wouldn't say for any mediums to go south just because it is, you're going to be a ton of heavies down here. You don't really have the armor to compete with the heavies and the TDs that will be down here, so staying way south is probably what you want to do. But taking middle or taking north is where the mediums shine, so that's where I would say take a medium. Moving on to heavy tanks. The majority of the heavy tanks should go south. I would say that more highly armored ones should go south. Your heavies that have good gun depression, like your E5s, should go north. And the reason for that is so that they can have an easier time looking over this hill, spotting what's right here, and taking it out effectively without being easily pinned. But you're definitely more faster, more mobile heavies should go north. to help push this. When you are going south, be aware that mediums that come into this area will spot you. So you don't want to take the short route as far as, coming down this hill, driving right there, then coming up like that. As you come down to get into the area, you want to just drop down right there, go across, get into this area, come up that way. You want to spend as little as time as possible in this area right here, just because medium and any TDs that push up will be able to shoot you really easily. So it's really, really valuable to for your HP and for your chances of winning to not show too much of your tank in this area for too long. But you'll get into this corner down here and just brawl it out. You'll either sit behind the rock or behind this hill or slightly down this hill a little bit. And as they push up or as you reload, peek up to take shots. Just be careful. Like I said, they'll be sitting here. They'll have a much better advantage on you because they'll be lower, easier to haul down for them as well. There'll be a lot more tanks can fit in this corner than can fit in this corner. So you have to be aware that you'll probably be outnumbered. So saving your hit points and using your armor or just slowing them down. I mean, that's really what you want to do. It's not as so much about winning this side unless you're losing this side. If your north side and your field side are winning and pushing, don't throw away your tanks south. Just keep holding them and stop. Don't let them push it. Because it's much harder to clear tanks out of the city than it is to go behind them and clear them out. So you just want to slow them down. Destroy what you can, do the damage you can, but do not die, and make sure you slow them down enough time for your mediums to get around and your TDs to come up behind them and help you. That's pretty much it for this side. So we're going to swap to the other side now. Okay. Starting with the north spawn. And by the way, I'm calling this north spawn, south spawn because this spawn is lower than this spawn. So this will be south spawn, this will be north spawn. Or west east, but I just prefer north and south as labeling spawns. So. But on the north spawn as a light tank, coming to this corner and getting a quick light at the very beginning can work. I don't really recommend it because there's not going to be much near anything coming down this way. So the best option for a light tank is to come up north, either push into this area to get lights for stuff that comes across, or sit behind this rock to get lights for stuff that comes around this corner or around this area. You can also sit back here slightly to spot stuff as it pokes up around this corner, and spotted stuff as it pokes around this corner. So either right here or right here, I really recommend as the stronger spots. You can sit back here over here if you want to as well. So these three spots are probably the strongest light scouting spots, light point spots. You can also, if you so want to, move up here. But you have to be really fast at the very beginning to get there quick without taking any shots. You won't really be able to look around this corner though because you'll be spotted instantly. So there's really no advantage other than watching to make sure they don't push around this corner. So I still stick with right here or back here or right there as the main three spots you want to be at. Now as the tank destroyer, your more heavily armored tank destroyers again like the E3s, your JPZs can go south and get ready to push that. You can have one sit back here. It does not really need it, but it can. There can be one that sits back here and watches this. Don't try to get in a trading fight with any TDs in this area because more than likely you'll lose. So you want to sit more like here and just make sure nothing pushes in. Not the greatest spot. There'll be a lot of games where you won't do anything in that spot, but just as a safety, I think you're better off either going south or north or in the middle. But other spots will be from the spawn. You'll come up here, either try to push in down here to get shots over here and protect this corner, or push the corner, whichever have you, or sit back here in this area and get ready to fire into this corner. Two very strong spots. Probably the best spots, either here or here, is what I would recommend. I don't really recommend any TDs really going up here because there's no point really. Making sure you're flexible and can cover two areas is always better. So sitting here or here is definitely stronger than sitting up here in a TD. Moving on to mediums. At the very start, one of the strongest places you can get in medium is in this area. Gives you quite a few options. At the very start, you'll try to spot any tanks that move across this open area right here and just shoot them in the back as they try to get to south. A lot of tanks do it, so a lot of games you'll get easy 1,000 damage plus off of tanks moving across here. Just be careful, no TDs sit in this area because it is hard to spot them before they spot you and get a shot off. So just be aware of what's here before you commit too hard to taking shots in this area. Um, Obviously, just like TDs and whatnot, sitting on this corner, pushing this corner, poking this corner to get spots for your TDs, shooting, all great areas to sit and get ready to push in. North is sitting on this corner and getting ready to push up to spot the stuff for your TDs back here. Getting them lit so your TDs can take damage, get a couple shots in yourself. Just, you want to be definitely, if you're going to be this far up, be a little bit more armored, like a 140 or 628, something like that. Your leopards can sit back in this area and take shots up. But for the most part, you want to have your TDs up in this area to push and get ready to push on this area and take either the north or take the middle. One of the two. If you take either one, your chances of winning pretty much double. So now as a heavy, south is pretty much where you want to be. You're more heavily armored. Heavy's just like on the other side. You'll push on this corner, take out all the tanks, hold them. If you outnumbered, just at that point you just want to hold them, and you'll hold by being back here and letting them come around and take shots at the tracks, and keep backing up until you get to this area. This area it's very advantageous because you'll have your artillery support. TDs can come back from here and support you from back here. So if you start losing this flank, just back up to this rock area right here and defend from this. As they come around, TDs and whatnot will hit you or hit them pretty easily. So that's pretty much what you want to do on the south. Now, as far as north goes, just like mediums, you're trying to get around this corner and push light and win this north side. That's pretty much all you're doing. It's pretty straightforward and simple. So that's pretty much it. Covers pretty much everything. So hope you guys enjoyed.